Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're doing this at. Hello, and welcome to week one of Time Out Thursdays. So, I actually decided to do this because I felt like it was something that everyone really needed, especially coming off the back of some very busy social seasons. We can be very inclined to throw ourselves headfirst into getting back into a routine and stuff like that. But oftentimes we forget to take a little bit of time to actually just slow down, rest, and come back to ourselves a little bit. So, week one, we're actually just going to be doing a meditation today because I actually want to talk a little bit about meditation, about why meditation works, because I am a science girl through and through, and until I actually understood the mechanisms as to why meditation works so well for people, I really could not get into a routine of actually sticking with doing meditations. Now, if you're someone who's done a lot of meditation, just a little, well, dissection of what today is about. It is going to be a guided meditation, and we're going to do a little bit of progressive muscle relaxation. But equally, like if you're someone who prefers to do silent meditations, then by all means, you can knock me off and go and do a silent meditation if you want. But firstly, I just want to talk about why I'm so passionate about yoga and meditation and breath work and everything, because honestly, it's something that completely changed my life over the last few years. I've always been someone who's very go, and I really struggle with slowing down, resting, and stopping. So something that yoga taught me a couple of years ago was it allowed me to get very in touch with my own body, because I felt very disconnected. Like my mind and my body, I always felt like they were in different places. Like my mind was go, and I used to push my body to the extremes, and I never listened to it. I was always injured, I was always getting sick, and because I really just never listened when it needed to rest. And I think something that yoga did for me was it allowed this integration of mind, body, and soul, that I actually started listening to my body a lot more. And it's amazing when you actually start listening to your body how it repays you. And that's with regards to the food you put in your body, the training you do. I'm a big fan of weight training, clearly, obviously, but I also need to balance that out with a lot of yoga, because I love the weight training aspect, which is very masculine energy, get the blood pumping, lift really heavy weights and strong and empowering. But when I am not balancing that out with the yoga, I often find I can get very trapped in the rat race of what's on the to-do list, what's next on the to-do list, which we'll talk about over the coming weeks, but it's kind of trying to find that balance between masculine and feminine energy. And for me, yoga, meditation, all of that allows me to tap into the other side. Otherwise, I end up constantly just thinking about the next thing on the to-do list. So with that in mind, as I said, I want to talk a little bit about meditation, why meditation works, and kind of a little bit of demystifying some of the stuff around meditation that actually will make it a little bit more accessible to people. So I don't know how to meditate, can't do it, just pisses me off, right? Is what I hear all of the time from clients, friends, family. It's worth pointing out that when you first begin to meditate, the goal is not to stop your thoughts. People are like, I can't stop my thoughts. And I'm like, that's absolutely normal. For the amount of years you have been on this planet, your mind has constantly been working to form connections. Like, it's how our brains work. They're constantly looking out for patterns and stuff like that. So it makes sense that when we want to just sit there and meditate under a tree like a Buddhist monk, like our mind isn't just going to stop. Like, you have to realize that we have been conditioned in such a way as well by society that it's like instant gratification, this, and we want everything now, right? So you have to give your brain a chance, and it literally is like training. You have to practice this, because if you've ever looked up things about like neuroplasticity and stuff like that, and neural connections in the brain, like, it's repetition that actually causes you to be able to improve. And there is no right or wrong way to meditate. There is no really I'm good at meditating and I'm not. Like, I do a lot of silent meditations, and some days I can tap into that and it's beautiful, and other days my mind is just racing, which is actually where I often find sometimes yoga comes in a little bit more into play there, because I see yoga as a form of movement meditation, because you're connecting the breath to the movement. Whereas with meditation, I feel like when you can get to that place where you are doing silent meditation, yes, it's magical when you can tap into that. But in this day and age, and in the place that we live, usually that's very hard to do, okay? Not impossible, just a little bit harder. So, we have a monkey mind, right, that's constantly jumping from one thing to the next. And that's not really a problem unless you're completely unaware of it. So I think people tend to think that they are their thoughts, and that is reality, right? But the first step in meditation is realizing that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, and you hold a lot more power than you realize, because most people are going around dictated by external circumstances that happen to them, their thoughts that pop into their head when this happens, and then they react to it. And that is life, and that is going around completely on autopilot with your monkey mind. And actually you're giving away a lot of your power when you do that. So what I mean about that is, a thought pops into your head and you immediately react to it, right? That thought isn't necessarily true. Like, your thoughts and your emotions, all of these things, they come from years of experience with life, but your life is actually just your perception. It's your lens you're seeing things through. So something that I realize, and I notice it when I fall out of doing a lot of meditation and yoga, is I become very reactive, okay? So something will happen and I'll be like, bam, I just react to that situation, right? Instead of when I'm doing a lot of meditation, a lot of yoga and stuff like that, something will happen and I'm able to take a step back, even when the thoughts pop into my head, because I realize I don't have to react to this. I can respond to it. And a lot of what we're doing in yoga and meditation is creating that space between the situation that's happening and your ability to respond to it. And that's yoga, in my opinion. That's why I do yoga, that's why I do meditation, and that is why I do a lot of what I do, because I am a hot-headed Scorpio, and I used to react to every single thing that happened to me, and I would fly off the handle without actually being able to realize that I had more power in that situation to actually be able to take a step back, take a couple of breaths, and realize I can't control these external circumstances, but I can control how I'm going to react to them. And I'll tell you one thing, when I am not practicing my yoga and meditation, my ability to actually take a step back goes out the window. And I just think the world is happening to me instead of around me. So I want you to think of thoughts as like this guest in your house that won't stop talking. They will not stop talking, okay? You know the people I'm talking about. They call around to the house and they're like, blah, 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 and they just talk at you and you're like, okay. So think of your thoughts as that. You can't stop them talking, but you can decide what you're going to listen to and what you're going to actually respond to, okay? So with that in mind, if you can be aware that you're not your thoughts, then you don't have to react to everyone that pops into your head. The other way people look at this is in mindfulness techniques. They tend to look at clouds passing in the sky or waves in the ocean, and think of your thoughts and your emotions as this. Like, what they have in common is they both pass in time. This too shall pass. Everything passes in time. It's the nature of life. Change, it's always happening. So even when you're in the height of emotions, which I had a very bad anxiety episode last week where it was all day, I got to the point where I was in the gym, my heart was racing so much I couldn't even listen to music. I had to listen to a podcast because my heart was just racing. But I had to keep saying to myself, this too shall pass. And it did. And I felt fine. And I actually got down to the sea later that day and I actually felt fine. But if I didn't have the ability to say to myself, these thoughts that keep popping up, you have more control in this situation, you don't have to react to them, I would have ended up in a full-blown panic attack in the middle of the gym, which would have been fab. So like, how does this mere awareness of us not being our thoughts impact our mindset for the better? Right, well, if you can become more aware of the fact that when our thoughts arise, we don't have to react to them. And if you can become a bit more in tune with our emotions, then maybe they will not dictate our lives so much. So I love using this example. This is my last thing talking now, and then I promise I'll get into the meditation. If you're completely unaware of the fact that you're not your thoughts, I'm going to give you two scenarios here. You wake up on the wrong side of the bed, so to speak. You get out of bed, you stub your toe. You go to hit the kettle on, the kettle doesn't work. You go to make toast and there's mold all over the bread. And you're like, oh my God, right? So you get in the car, you go to work, you get stuck in traffic, and you're just having a mare of a morning. You go into work, you take that out on everyone around you, and everything seems to be happening against you. And you just keep reacting to all these situations in your life. Or you realize you're not your thoughts and that you cannot control these external circumstances. So you still wake up on the wrong side of the bed, so to speak. You still stub your toe and the kettle still doesn't work. You step back and you take a breath. And you're like, right, I cannot control these external circumstances, but I can control how I'm going to respond to them. So you're like, right, can't make my coffee in the morning, that's fine. I'm going to go to my local coffee shop, I'm going to get a coffee, and I'm going to drink that on the way to work. So you go to the coffee shop, and all of a sudden you realise when you're in the coffee shop, you know, the person behind the till is like really nice and they're smiley, and then they're like, morning, what can I get you, blah, 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 blah. You have a little exchange with them and already you're feeling a little bit better. And then you're drinking your lovely oat milk latte or whatever you're drinking on the way to work. And even though you're stuck in traffic, you don't even mind it so much because you're drinking a nice coffee and you're listening to one of your favourite podcasts. You get into work and you're already in a better mood and you're able to handle the day. Now that came from your ability to step back from the bad situation that was happening, reframe the situation and do something about it. Most people just go down the rabbit hole of a bad day and let that completely write off their day. And most of the time that happens because they have an inability to realise that they are not their thoughts and they don't have control of these external circumstances. So with that in mind, it's kind of about becoming friends with that like incessant neighbour that keeps coming into your house and talking. Sometimes you're going to listen to them, another time you're just going to pop your headphones in, watch it pass, and by doing this repeatedly, you will claim back a lot of your power, and external circumstances are a lot less overwhelming, a lot more manageable, and this is going to lead to a healthier, happier life. So with that in mind, we are going to do meditation today, and I want you to get super, super comfy. You can either lie down in your bed, you can lie down in your couch, you can sit upright with your back straight. It's totally up to you. We are actually going to do progressive muscle relaxation, so I actually do recommend you lie down for this. And I just want you to get really comfy. I want you to be somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. I want you to put headphones on, block out the world, and just spend this little bit of time just for you. Okay? So take a couple of moments now just to get yourself comfortable, and I'm just going to make sure that my video is still recording. So, once you have got yourself nice and comfortable, I want you to gently close your eyes. And I actually want you to just firstly become aware of your natural breath. Is it fast? Is it slow? Do you notice you're breathing more into your belly? Or are you breathing more into your chest? If you're breathing through your nose, do you notice you're breathing a bit more through the right nostril? Or maybe you're breathing a bit more through the left nostril. So we're going to begin by taking a deep breath and noticing the feeling of filling your airways completely. I want you to hold your breath for a few seconds and then release the breath slowly and let all the tension leave your body. I'm going to take another deep breath in and hold it And again, slowly release the air. Even slower now, take another breath. Fill your lungs and hold. Slowly release the breath and imagine the feeling of tension leaving your body. Now move your attention to your feet. I want you to begin to tense your feet by curling your toes and the arch of your foot. I want you to hold on to the tension and notice what it feels like. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the tension from your lower legs. Again, notice the feeling of relaxation. And remember to continue taking deep breaths. Next, I want you to tense the muscles of your upper leg and pelvis. So you can do this by tightly squeezing your thighs together. Make sure you feel tenseness without going to the point of strain. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. And feel the tension leave your muscles. Begin to tense your stomach and chest. You can do this by sucking in your stomach and squeeze. Squeeze harder and hold the tension a little bit longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the tension. Allow your body to limp. Let yourself notice the feeling of relaxation. Continue taking deep breaths. Breathe in slowly, noticing the air fill your lungs. And hold. Release the air slowly and feel it leaving your lungs. Next, tense the muscles in your back by bringing your shoulder blades together behind you. Hold them tightly and tense them as hard as you can without straining, and keep holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the tension from your back. Feel that tension slowly leaving your body and the new feeling of relaxation set in. Notice how different your body feels when you actually just allow it to relax. Tense your arms all the way from your hands to your shoulders. Make a fist and squeeze all the way up your arm and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the tension from your arms and shoulders and notice that feeling of relaxation in your fingers, hands, arms and shoulders. And notice how your arms feel limp and at ease. Now move up to your neck and your head. I want you to tense your face and your neck by distorting the muscles around your eyes and your mouth. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the tension. Again, noticing the feeling of relaxation. Finally, I want you to tense your whole body. Tense your feet, legs, stomach, chest, arms, head and neck. Tense harder without straining and hold that tension. Now release and allow your whole body to go limp. Pay attention to the feeling of relaxation and how different it is feeling from that tension you were holding. So the theme of today's meditation is, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. As I said, a lot of what we're doing in yoga and meditation is widening that space between stimulus and response. So our experience of being in a human body in the world is less akin to being a plastic bag blown around in the wind, and more similar to being a tree that can weather the change in seasons. I want you to picture yourself at the ocean just before sunrise. If you have a specific spot that comes to mind, visualize it in detail. Imagine yourself sitting on a towel or the sand, looking out at the vast ocean. Notice the waves as they come in toward you, crashing or gently lapping at the shore, and then receding back out into the blue sea. In and out. Notice how each in and out wave is unique, sometimes very gentle and slow, other times more chaotic and powerful. Isn't it amazing how each wave is different, yet there's a calming rhythm to the ocean? Take a few moments to imagine this scene. Picture all the details of this relaxing place. The sun has not risen yet, but the sky is just starting to get light. The air is cool, comfortable and pleasant. The temperature is very pleasant, a calm and comfortable morning. Imagine the feel of a slight gentle breeze on your skin. The breeze blows just enough to move the leaves of palm trees gently back and forth. The leaves of the trees make a dark silhouette against the gradually lightening sky. Imagine the fresh smell of air, the smell of the clean water and sand. Picture in your mind the sound of the water lapping against the shore. Hear the slight rustling of leaves as the palm branches sway gently. It is early morning and you are the only one here. This is such a calm, safe, pleasant place. Fully relax here near the gentle ocean. Perhaps you are on a deck with wooden tables, umbrellas closed for the night. They will soon be open to provide shelter from the sun. But for now they remain with their cloth tops folded down as if they are also resting. Small huts with grass roofs provide shelter for some of the tables. During the day, this place is bustling with activity as people sit at the tables in the shelter of the grass huts, sipping cool drinks by the water. But now, all is quiet, all is peaceful, all is serene. Notice that the sun is starting to rise. You can see a spot of light at the horizon as if the sun is rising out of the water. See the light growing as the sun begins to rise above the horizon. Small streaks of light shine into the sky as the sky grows lighter and lighter with the growing dawn. See the birds that are actively early in the morning. Some fly overhead, Some are already diving into the water looking for fish. And other birds are simply sitting quietly, also enjoying the dawn. You can see some peaceful waves as they break some distance from the shore. White peaks rise in a line out in the water, crashing on a stone breaker that keeps the water close to the shore, peaceful and calm. See the peaceful waves gently lapping at the shore, washing gently onto the sand. The waves are very calming. They are so peaceful and so rhythmic. Watch the peaceful waves flowing like your breath. In and out, in and out. Continue to observe the rhythm of the peaceful waves flowing with the rhythm of your breath. As you relax, you can enjoy the beautiful sunrise. Pink and orange give everything around you a warm glow. The sun has risen above the horizon, but it's still really low in the sky. The breeze, the warm early sunlight, the gently lapping, peaceful waves, softly moving palm leaves, all of these create a calm and peaceful place. Continue to relax here for a few moments, enjoying the peaceful waves and the remaining calm time at sunrise. Soon this place will be busy with people going about their morning routines, so enjoy the last few remaining moments of solitude as the sun rises higher in the sky. The sun is shining brighter and brighter in each moment. This has become a beautiful morning, and you start to see people in the distance walking along the beach. The waves become a little bigger, a bit more lively as the breeze also intensifies. Everything around you seems to be waking up and getting ready for a lovely day. And just before we wake the body up, I want to chat to you about why we envision the ocean waves today. The image of ocean waves flowing and changing with each cycle can help us better understand our emotions. When we experience an emotion, whether that's joy, anger, sadness, embarrassment, disappointment, anxiety, it can often feel like it's overcome us. Sometimes more painful emotions feel like they will last forever. But through the skill of riding the waves, we can learn that emotions only last for a few minutes and naturally change with time. If we can allow ourselves to observe the emotion without trying to fight it or change it, it will quickly dissipate like an ocean wave being pulled back to the sea. Remind yourself that the feeling is temporary. Keep observing and taking curious stance towards your emotions as they change and start to dissipate. And do not try to distract yourself or avoid it, because what we resist persists, and this too shall pass. Remember that you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. When you're ready, you can begin to wake your body and mind up and return to the present. Give yourself a few moments to do so, but I invite you to keep your eyes closed and enjoy this feeling of relaxation. You can begin to return your awareness to the surroundings and notice the real environment you are in. Slowly wake the muscles up by opening and closing your hands, maybe moving the head side to side, shrugging your shoulders a little bit. But keep with you the feeling of peace and calm that you had while you were relaxing here today. as you open your eyes and sit quietly for a moment. So something to ponder before you go back to your daily routine is one of my favorite quotes. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. And also with that in mind, I want you to ask yourself today, what is no longer serving you? What can you let go of? And what can you leave here on the mat today? And feel free to take as much time as you want to wake yourself up. And hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed after that. Next week we will be taking it into some yoga. And this is going to be suitable for all levels. Whether you're a complete beginner or you are a master yogi, next week we are going to be doing yoga and breath work. So with that in mind, have a fabulous day. Lots of love.